What up, y'all? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. It is the Comic Cowboy here, and I'm going to cover for you some of my favorite purchases of 2021. These are all awesome books. Look at the stack, ladies and gentlemen. This is not by price of the book necessarily. It's really just stuff I absolutely loved and thought was among the best books that I picked up in 2021. Let's get right up into it with a banger. And it's from the Promise Collection. This is USA Comics 10, White Pages 9-0. Shum goodness, probably one of the best books I picked up all year. What can be said about the Promise Collection other than it is probably as important as Church? It's right up there, I think, in the top 5 best comic pedigrees of all time. Easily, probably, I think, already number 2, Edgar Church, Promise Collection. Great story, great books. Now I'm just going to start firing through the slabs here. These are all books that I think also have great potential in 2022 as well. And here's a relatively inexpensive book. It's Thor 168. It's the origin of Galactus. Now, getting this guy in the origin story is kind of a sneaky play in this book. It's not that expensive, and you can still find it in upper high grades, reasonably priced, meaning the GPA data hasn't gone wild yet. Cool book. I mean, just an awesome cover. I like it for that alone. To get into like the first Galactus, you've got to get into the early Fantastic Four books. Those are quite expensive, so great alternative. And we are going right into some Promise book collection material here. These are cool. I picked up all 3 of these in a Heritage Sunday auction. Boom, 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 4 books in a row, and I got them all relatively well priced, I think, for what they are. Maybe it's because they were tucked into the Sunday auction that they slipped on by. I'm glad I got them. They're awesome. And it's none other than Wow Comics with Mary Marvel, starting off from 1944, 9-0 Promise Collection. Fantastic, great book. I'm so glad to have taken this book home. And I got 3 of them. One of them slipped away, but I did the best I could getting these books. They're super cool. Like Heritage has been sneaking in the Promise Collection, the Promise pedigree books into their Sunday auctions periodically. And of course, a wide array of them are available in the upcoming signature sale that they're doing beginning of January, which is going to be mind-blowing when you look at the books that are in that sale. Another Mary Marvel Wow Comics. This stuff's underrated. And she'll be in the new Shazam movie. And who knows if she'll get her own series one day on HBO Max or her own film. It's a great character, it's great property. It's an amazing pedigree. We're firing right through it. Random books here. Here is a Hawkman. You know this book. This Hawkman 4 has been a key for some time, and it's really picked up. Of course, it's the first appearance and origin of Zatanna, who is one of my favorite characters in the DC universe. Really nice copy here in Ada. Looks like I picked this one off Comic Link. Here's a cool book. I do collect Katie Keene, but this is easily the best cover in the title. It's Katie Keene 62 from 1961, and it's got that iconic robot cover there with Katie Keene draped over the robot's arms. Really kind of a cool book. And whenever I see a copy of this, I do pick it up. It's not that common. And it's relatively inexpensive for how damn cool it is. Here's a book I got off the CGC boards, where I'm on those boards and have been there for some time as Atomized, if you want to look me up and say hello. Here's Green Lantern 1 from 1960, White Pages. This is a great alternative to Showcase 22, which is, of course, the first appearance of Hal Jordan, the Silver Age Green Lantern. And this is a book that I think has a tremendous amount of upside. Like a lot of the DC keys have been overlooked, which is either unfortunate or fortunate, depending on how you look at it. But when he comes into his television series, all the keys, and this being one of them, we'll see some lift. It's already been priced in there a little bit, but that's still a great and hard to get book in mid to upper grade, just like the Showcase 22 is a tough one. All right, here's a really good one. Here's Bats 155, first Silver Age appearance of the Penguin, who will be in the upcoming Batman movie. So if you want to get into the Penguin and you can't afford his first appearance in the Golden Age in Detective Comics, which is very expensive, this is a sneaky book that's been on the rise. He's also on the cover here, which is awesome. Vicky Vale appearance. These sort of early 1960s Batman books in upper grade are difficult, and they're really cool. Here's a book that may surprise you. It's not typically what I buy. And it's a SpiderGwen 981 signed by Stan the Man in 2015. I've been kind of picking these books up in a speculative way for the future. Really, if Stan has signed the book, and if it's of a character that's going to be very enduring and lasting for the next 20, 30, 50, however many years. And that's SpiderGwen. This is relatively easy to find, much more difficult to find when Stan has signed the book. And it's a really good Stan signature. It's found right in the white on the cover, so you can see it very clearly. It doesn't interfere with the graphic. I think it's one of the better, more well-executed Stan signatures. I just like this. It's a super cool cover. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm keeping it for the future and going back into the early 1960s with this key. This is actually, before I showed you, this is my favorite book of 2021. It really is. It was on an absolute tear. It started to steady out. Now it's crawling back a little bit. It's Jim 84, Journey into Mystery 84. Second appearance of Thor. First appearance of Jane Foster. Y'all know who Jane Foster is from the movies. We are going to see a lot more of her, I think. And you know, the first Loki and the Jim 83 have really gone to the moon. I've been absolutely shocked what Journey to Mystery 83, First Appearance of Thor, has done. That book has gone hog wild. And this book is a steady climber. And I think it's going to be a book that's going to be really important in the future and in the MCU. So hang tight on that. Here's another modern. It's Daredevil D2, number 998. It's the first appearance of Maya Lopez. Echo. Echo is a really fascinating character that we're going to see on television. It's a phenomenal cover, a beautiful depiction. If you, interestingly, look at the census report in CGC, the pop report in this is relatively low for what you'd expect from a modern book. I just think it's a great cover, and I routinely pick up this book, usually at current prices, and I think it's a fabulous investment. Rounding it out, Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane. What a title for a comic series, right? You have to make sure it's mentioned that it's Superman's girlfriend, but there she is. And this is a first Silver Age Catwoman appearance, which is great because she's coming up in the movies too. Here it is in 8-0. This book has been also on a little bit of a run, a little bit of a tear. So there you go. Those are my favorite pickups of 2021 amidst probably hundreds of comics that I bought and quite a few that I did sell and consign. So have a great new year, everybody. Give the video a like. Do give it a subscribe to endorse the content coming out of the chute in 2022. Be well, see you out there, and rawhide.